Well, good morning, all. As usual, this is a spur of the moment thing. Got up this morning, went out to feed the dog, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. And we just been going through, I don't know, at least the last month. It's been just nonstop raining. And also the snow level's been down around 1,500, 2,000 feet. Well, today and tomorrow, we're not supposed to have any rain. And then tomorrow afternoon, the clouds are supposed to start coming in, and they're talking about another big storm, another rainy period coming through. So I thought, what the heck? Let's head up and see if we can find some gold. Well, I had to weigh my options. We've had a lot of rain, so the rivers are going to be high. So preferably we'd like to find one with a controlled flow, something that's got dams on it that will, take a little bit of that the up and down out of the river. And then our other problem is snow. Well, most of the smaller creeks, you got to go up to the top of the hill and then down into the creek. Problem with that is the snow's got us blocked. Even if the snow's melted off, you always have the spots on a corner with a tree overhanging where the snow doesn't melt. And I really don't want to spend a day trying to get my truck unstuck. So that kind of eliminates that area. And then the third thing is we're off to a late start. So it's got to be something that's not too terribly far away. Well, I think I found the river that fits the bill. Now this river doesn't actually have a dam on it. It's got several smaller dams on it, and they do a lot of hydroelectric on it, but they do pull water out of one area, ship it around, and dump it back in another area, so you have spots in between the dams where we might be able to get in and do a little looking. And it's only hour and a half drive from the house, but it's up in the hills a little ways. So I thought, what the heck? Let's run up there and take a look. Worst thing that can happen is we can fail miserably, but heck, we're still up in the hills on a nice sunny day, so how can you lose? Well, made it to the creek, and I picked this spot on Google Maps, and the road is right there. And I'll tell you what, there was a big difference in what the hike looked like on the map and what it actually is. The hill here is so steep that I had to go way downstream to find a spot to get down and then hike back up here. The reason I picked this spot, it's on the wrong side of the river. We're on the outside of the turn, but it's the only spot I could find in the short amount of time I got to look that's got some exposed bedrock. And you know, the odds are we're not going to find anything nice here, but hopefully with the bedrock, we can find something. Now the bedrock here is really good looking bedrock. It's really hard bedrock, and there's quite a few crevices in here, and they look pretty packed. So I did bring the detector, so let's grab the detector and see if we can turn anything up. One thing I wanted to show you here while I was getting set up is my headphones. And now this isn't an advertisement for this company or anything. It's just that these are really good headphones, and they have one feature I really like, and it has definitely paid off, because more than once I've had my cord go bad. You get it snagged on a tree and pull on it or something. Well, this set of headphones, the cord can be detached, and when you get where you're going, you just snap it in and you're ready to go, and it comes with an extra cord. So if you're out in the field and something happens to your cord, you still, you know, before I was out of luck. You know, I'd only get one ear that worked or nothing that worked. Well, these, you got a backup cord in your bag, so you're never stuck without a set of headphones. And they're really good headphones, and these are the Nugget Busters. So just a little side note. Okay, now back to looking for gold. Well, we got another side note. I don't know if we're ever going to get around to looking for gold. I just turned the detector on, and this is a pulse machine, and the one big downfall that the pulse machines have is electrical interference. Directly over my head is power lines. There's power lines that run all through this canyon because they got power plants all along here. So to tune out the electrical interference, I have to change the frequency of my machine, and I figured I'd show you guys how I do this. So let me get this put on, get it set up, and show you what the problem is. Okay, that sound you hear, that is the detector picking up those power lines. Now, I'm going to turn my frequency up, and you'll hear the sound will go away. Right about there, I pretty much got it eliminated. Okay, now with my frequency up, my machine's not going to work quite as good, but it's still going to work. So now that we got that problem fixed, maybe now we can look for some gold. Okay, we have a spot right here and right there that have a large iron object in them. And at this point, we're going to take the large iron object. Okay, well, right here we got our first target. Okay, well, this gravel's packed in here pretty good. got our very first pan of gravel. Let's go see what we got. Be right back. Well, our first pan turned out to be a really good pan, really interesting pan anyway. That was my target. I have no clue what it was or is. We have some gold in the pan. The problem is I was using a green pan because I'm not sure about the quantity of black sand and the fine gold and all that here. I can see the black sand fine, but I have a hard time seeing gold in a green pan with my eyes as bad as they are, you know, the old guy thing. So I'm going to dump this into my black pan, and when I get done with that, I'll show you this and I'll show you the gold. Okay, let me see if I can get a close-up on this. No idea what it is, so I'm going to let you guys figure out what that is. Okay, let's look at the gold. Now, I don't know how well it's showing it because I'm out in the sunlight. But right there, bunch of gold, and there is a lot of really fine stuff in there also. Now, nothing great, but as the first pan, I'm thinking that's pretty good. Well, I'm saying for our first pan, this is pretty darn good. Grant you, the gold's not huge, but it's gold. The sun's shining. We're in the mountains, and right there, not very far away, is the snow. I'm going to spin that camera around and I'll show you that if I can. It's kind of looking into the sun. That is, oh, I don't know, maybe a mile away. So this is as close to the snow as I want to get. Well, I think that's enough messing around. I'm going to throw this in my pocket. I'm going to suck that gold and black sand up, and we're going to grab that next crevice. See what we got. Okay, well, we got crevice number 2 cleaned out, and the target was pretty easy to find. It's a big, giant chunk of iron. Let me get a little closer. That's one heavy, big hunk of iron. But we also have a pan of gravel. Let's go see if there's any gold in here. Large iron object turned out to be a big bolt, but I seem to be finding pennies now, because here's another penny and some type of a small brass screw, a lot of little pieces of lead, and some gold. Now, I'm not sure how well it's showing this, but we got a bunch of gold right in here, and then all kinds of lead and pieces of, you name it, little pieces of wire, copper things, all kinds of stuff in there. Okay, well, I'm going to dump all this in a snuffer bottle, grab the detector, and there's some bedrock down there. It's a little bit lower. I'm going to take a look at that, and even if I don't get a target, if I find a good looking crevice, I think we're going to open it up just to see what's down closer to the water, see if it makes a difference. Okay, let's go. Just finished another pan, and it's pretty much the same as what we've been getting. Now, our target was an old nail, but you can see here we got all kinds of fine gold there, some larger pieces, but just all kinds of junk in the pan. Well, what I decided to do to speed things up, I'm going to use the green pan, and I'm just going to pan it down to like what we got in here. Then I'm going to dump it all in the black pan, and then towards the end we'll do a cleanup in the black pan. Okay, let's keep moving. Well, I got 4 more pans done, and dumped them all in the black pan, and then I just now panned it out, and we got quite a bit of gold in here. Let me show you. Okay, you can see all the gold through here. Some nice little pieces too. through here, and then down on this end we got all kinds of lead and you name it. But that's not too bad at all. Okay, well, I'm going to suck all this up, put it in the snuffer bottle. I'm going to pack everything up, and we're going to move upstream about 100 feet, because I got this area right here pretty much worked as much as I can, and we got maybe another hour or two. So I thought, well, we'll go upstream and see what's happening up there. Well, I moved upstream, and I can't find any targets with the metal detector. And there's a few crevices here that don't look too bad to me, so I went ahead and opened up 2 of them. And I'm basically finding nothing but little tiny specks. Now this section I'm in is down lower, and it's in the direct flow. And so what I'm thinking is, if I find a piece of gold here, it's going to be a nicer piece. But up where I was earlier, it was in kind of a back eddy area, and the flood gold was able to drop out there. And I don't think the flood gold can drop out here. There is a big boulder right around here, just a little bit. And I'm going to go take a look behind it, see if there's any cracks or crevices. And if I don't find anything there, well, it's getting late and I'm getting hungry. So the next time I turn this camera on, I'm either going to have some gold or we're going to be back at the truck. Okay, let's go. We're back at the truck. Well, I'm calling today a pretty good day. We found some nice gold for, never being here. Just something we picked off of Google Maps, and our theory did work out. As far as working in between a couple of dams, the water flow wasn't bad at all. Where we first started, I think it was a better spot because it was a little more protected, so more flood gold dropped out. The second spot, if we had more time, I think we might have produced larger gold if we had more time to look. Well, now right now, I'm gonna throw everything in the truck and we're gonna head for the house, because you'd think I'd be smart enough to know not to leave without a lunch, but I didn't bring a lunch and I'm starving to death and it's darn near dinner time. So I'm thinking, let's head to the house. Well, I'm back at the house, and same old routine. You guys ought to know it by now. It's the next day. I go home, had some dinner, and fell right to sleep. But I did get up, get that gold cleaned up, and we'll weigh it here in a second. One thing, I was looking at the video this morning, and I'm thinking, boy, my shots were kind of funky. And I didn't mention up there, but I didn't have a whole lot of room to stand or to place the camera. That bank pretty much went down and went right in the water. So if you're wondering why my camera angles were so bad, that's why. I was really limited on where I could put the camera. Now, the river, for just an hour's drive from the house, that wasn't too bad. The protected areas definitely had more gold, had more of the flood gold. As soon as we started finding the junk, we started finding the flood gold, which is, that's pretty much standard stuff there. Now, in that area where I was in the direct flow, we lost our flood gold, but I really think if I got a little more time, I could turn up some nicer gold in that area. So we may be heading back up there. But for right now, let's weigh that gold, see what we got. Okay, let's see how we did. .38 grams. Okay, let's see if we can get a close-up on the gold. Well, I'm pretty tickled with that. 0.38 grams. Rivers are all high. We're in the middle of, basically our rainy period. And the fact we can still go up and find some gold, shows you just got to do a little bit of research, and you can pretty much get gold year round. Well, right now I got to get to work, so I'm gonna say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And I have no idea why, but everybody else says to click the like button, so I'm going to say click the like button. I don't know what it does, but it must do something. So at this point, I got to get to work, so I'm going to say you have a wonderful day.